What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so we are still on the APK here, so that means that everything you see is still subject to change from now until the live version, so keep that in mind. And this video is brought to you by Netmarble and the Content Creator Club. So with that out of the way, today we're going to be looking at Scarlet Spider. So Scarlet Spider is going to be the free-to-play character of the update here, as you can see, find in the shop. So he's going to be a bio-selector character, so you can just use your Shadowland selectors to get Scarlet Spider here. And Scarlet Spider is actually looking pretty good. He's very similar to 2099, whereas he's kind of a glass cannon, but with a little bit more survivability, luckily. So let's go ahead and hop into these skills here. And then he also has a passive here that's going to be applying to all Spider-Verse characters, or characters that have spider sense in their description there. So yeah, any Spider-Verse character. And he's going to give them increased damage dealt to superhero types by 35%, supervillain types by 40%, and then he has his own increase skill damage by 25% and bonus damage by 20%, which I'm guessing that applies to all of them as well, since it's not separated in its own category. But I believe all of the Spider-Verse characters have some kind of skill or bonus damage, so I'm not really sure how beneficial that part of the passive is going to be for them. But the supervillain and superhero buff right there is pretty nice. And now let's go ahead and take a look at his skills here. So first skill just has some webbing on it. Second skill just has some webbing on it. The third skill here, he's got a counterattack skill. So what he defends, and luckily it's for a longer time than some of the other characters that have counterattack skills. And then he counterattacks and he gets accumulation. He increases damage by 60% for one attack. He gets a guard hit, and he gets some guaranteed dodge by 30%. He applies silence and stun to the enemies there. Yeah, and the damage accumulation goes up to 60% all attacks. So he has quite a bit going on for this skill. So he's going to be getting a 60% increase to just a single attack afterwards, so a 60% damage proc, and then he's going to get a 60% boost to all attack, and he's going to get a guard hit and some guaranteed dodge. It is on an 18-second cooldown, so you're not going to be spamming it too often, but it is a pretty nice skill. The fourth skill here, we have some more webbing, we've got a stun, and we have some all defense down. So all defense down stacks up to minus 50%, so that's quite nice. And then the little bit of sustain that he has here, or survivability, a 15% max HP recovery. So that's pretty nice. So every time you use the fourth skill, you're going to get a little bit of a heal. And that definitely helps, because I've tried pulling him a little bit, and that healing was saving me quite a bit. The fifth skill here, we have some burn damage, remove active buffs from the target. That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that the first time reading. And then he increases all attack and all defense by 25%, all speed 1%, crit rate by 25%. And now we're moving on to the 4-star passive. He gets some immunities here, immunity to paralysis and stun. So that's pretty nice. It'd be really hard to crowd control him, just like a lot of the other Spider-Verse characters. And then his leadership is just a standard dodge leadership, so pretty standard for a speed type character. So overall, he's looking pretty good here. He's got some of everything. He's going to be pretty good probably for both PvE and PvP, because he has that counterattack, and those counterattacks are actually quite strong and they hit really hard. Besides that, he's got some iframes here with the 4th and 5th skill, the passive where it's going to make him harder to be crowd controlled. The guaranteed dodge is only 30%, so it's nothing too crazy. So he's not going to be one of those Spider-Verse characters that just dodging everything, because he doesn't have a lot of it, because that's all he has is that 30% guaranteed dodge. But he has to use the 3rd skill to get that. He doesn't have anything on his passives there. Yeah, so let's go ahead and hop into the skill preview here, and we'll see what his skill animations actually look like. So the first skill, just shoots some webs, goes back and forth. They would just have a partial, well, have an iframe for the middle of the skill, and then it ends at the beginning, and the Yeah, and towards the end of the skill when you still can't quite, yeah, you still can't quite walk away. So yeah, you just have that iframe in the middle of it. The second skill right here, he shoots some more webs, just keeps bouncing around, jumping over the character, but he doesn't get an iframe until the very end of that. So it's not a very safe skill to be using in World Boss Ultimate, but it is one of the longer skill animations if you wanted to try to take advantage of his skill canceling, because you can cancel both his 4th and his 5th skill. So you can do that and go into the second skill, so you have that entire animation going while the second skill is active. So if you have your damage proc going for that time, you get all of the extra damage on the effects from the 4th and the 5th skill. The third skill here, as you can see, he just kind of sits there waiting for a counterattack, and it does last for pretty long. So you have a lot of time for the enemy to actually hit you and trigger your counterattack. So if we go here, turn this on, boom, we get our counterattack, we go into an iframe, and it looks like not a lot of hits, but enough that I would say that you're definitely going to be doing a significant amount of damage to the enemy, especially since you're getting that 60% increase to attack there. Or yeah, 60% damage proc, and then you're getting a 60% all attack boost from the damage that you're dealing. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. And now the 4th skill, he jumps up in the air there, gets some like spider bombs, and then pulls them towards the enemy, and then they explode and web up the enemy. So that is one where you can cancel it. You can just go jump up, and then as soon as you drop the bombs, you can cancel it. And as you can see, the bombs just kind of slide in themselves without him having to pull them in, and then they blow up around the enemy. And the bombs right there are what's going to apply the all defense down. So if we wait, and then boom, we see that nice little all defense down icon, which I'm not sure, stacked 25 times. So yeah, those explosions are more than enough to stack up the all defense down to the max value, which is really good. And now the 5th skill kind of pulls a tank down from the sky there, jumps up, and then boom, that tank explodes. And again, this is another one where you can cancel, so you just go whoop, you can pull down the tank, you can go into this skill, then you can go into this skill, and then when all those explosions are going on, you have your animation from the second skill to kind of tie everything together. But like I said, you get hit quite a bit for the second skill, so the rotation that I use for him is pretty straightforward. We just go into the 4th skill, get those bombs, and then we go into the 5th skill, let that play out. That's where your damage proc is, and that's all there is to it. You kite around and wait for your 4th and 5th skill to be off of cooldown. So yeah, nothing too fancy there. I found that that's kind of the best way to play him, because when I tried throwing in other skills there, the 2nd, the 1st, I was just getting killed quite easily, because I was just getting I was just getting like one-shotted or two-shotted or something like that, because he does not have a lot of defense and his health is a little bit low. So yeah, not the best survivability right there. you need some what is it, damage immunity or something on one of those skills. And then the counterattack I wasn't able to really reliably do on the particular stage that I was trying out, because we had so many blade twisters. The blade twisters just hit me there when I'm waiting for the counterattack and just kind of ruined my day. But besides that, you want to be using the 3rd skill for that increase to your damage. So ideally, you want to do the 3rd skill. You get your counterattack going, get that buff. Actually, you don't even need the counterattack for the buff, do you, right? If we look up there for all of the buff icons, let's let those expire. Boom, hop that in. Yeah, see, we have all of our buffs going on right there, so you don't even need to do that. So actually, the best way to do it is just do 3, cancel into 4, and then go into 5 here, and then boom, get your damage, and then try to run away and not get killed. But yeah, overall, I mean, his skill animations are looking really nice too. I like the skill animations. Seems like he does a really good amount of damage. Survivability, a little bit low, but that seems to be kind of par for the course for these spider characters. If they get hit, they pretty much die. So if they don't dodge something, they're toast. And he is no exception to that. And he also, just like the other Spider or Spider-Man characters, because I don't think all the Spider-Verse characters have it, he does have the leadership tag, so you can take advantage of White Fox here for the leadership. And then as you can see here, the spider sense, so anyone that has the little spider icon can take advantage of his tier 2 passive. Right now I have a CTP of energy on him. It is a 180 proc, so that's what I'm going to be trying out here. So I'm going to take him into some World Boss Ultimate. He is a physical damage dealer, so that is going to be Proxima, and then we'll see what kind of damage you can do. So let's go ahead and hop into that. All right, so we have Proxima stage 50 here, and like I said, he has the leadership tag, so we will take advantage of White Fox here, and then we have Beast for the leadership, the 50% increase to physical attack. So let's just go ahead and hop in here. We're not going to be using any strikers, and let's see what kind of damage we can do here against Proxima. Alright, so I'm not going to be using Beast 5th skill because I don't want to carry that over. So, alright, let's see. We're going to, boom, go up here. We procced a little early. Oh, no, we didn't. Ooh, yeah, look at that damage. Ah, but now we're going to be dead. Run away. Or that little lightning damage right there kind of messed up. As you can see, the damage is very, very good. We procs on the 5th skill there because he does have a slightly longer cooldown on the 5th skill, so needed to wait a little bit longer to use that 4th skill. So there we go, drop the bombs, and boom, get that damage. That damage is really, really good. Really high burst damage, but again, pretty low in terms of the survivability. And that heal, though, is putting in work. That heal has saved me quite a few times already, but you can see that damage is so nice, and it seems to go off pretty consistently. Like the damage, whatever I'm trying to say here, the damage proc seems to go off very consistently with the 4-5 combo. So it seems to have enough hits to, oh, we're dead here, to trigger it before the explosion from the tank, because that explosion is what does a significant portion of the damage. But again, you are, of course, going to be needing to use the 4th skill. So all that damage is not just from that explosion on the 5th skill. The explosion from the 4th skill gives you that all defense down, which is very, very important for the damage. So you need that all defense down from the 4th skill. So yeah, he's looking really strong there. I mean, if you use like a CTP of Rage, you could probably get a little bit more out of him, but the way you have to play him suits a damage proc very well. And then with the amount of hits, a CTP of Energy seems to be king for Scarlet Spider here. So I definitely would recommend a CTP of Energy on him. That seems to be doing very, very well. He had what, minus 50% all defense down, so he's not going to be one of the best candidates for a debuff lead. You kind of need to have minus 60% to really take advantage of that, so I don't really see a debuff lead kind of outshining a standard like damage increase lead here, but I could be wrong. Generally, though, when you have minus 50%, you can just do either way, and they're very similar in terms of their damage. But yeah, Scarlet Spider, he's looking really good, so I'm quite happy for him being a good character and free to play. So now we have another very strong speed character to take advantage of, so we can use him in Corvus, Proxima. It looks like he'll be pretty good in PvP, which I'm not 100% convinced yet because he doesn't have a lot of dodge built in. So we'll have to see on that front there. It all depends on how much damage the 3rd skill does. But yeah, let me know what you think of Scarlet Spider here. I think he looks pretty good. Just another kind of 2099 with a slight twist on his skill kit, so just a little bit different playstyle. But 2099 is kind of similar in terms of like the damage and glass cannon kind of effect that we see here with Scarlet Spider. So yeah, let me know what you think, but that's going to be it for this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.